Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program. I'm Zixradoom, and welcome to my channel. Here we are over the plane filter array that we were working on in the last episode. I went and I grabbed all the equipment I needed to finish it off, and here it is. So there aren't the full 384 of these here. Unfortunately, there's that miner in the way, and so at that point I was just like, yeah, close enough. So let's go ahead and start in on the next array, which is quantum chips. That's what we're doing next. Okay, so where's this tower? Over here. So grab this tower, which is on that meridian. Right there. Alright. So we're just gonna plunk her down right there. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. So, quantum chip time. We need 96 of these guys. 96 assemblers to build this array, so do we actually have any assemblers in my inventory? Oh, lots. Got lots. Do we have any sorters? Got lots of those. So we should be good. Should being the operative word. Alright. So we'll set up the tower real quick. Well, partially set up the tower real quick. Helps me keep track of things. And we need plane filter. And we need processors. And we're gonna output quantum chips. Alright, so let's make sure I didn't mess the recipe up. Yep, there we go. So quantum chips and plane filter. Processors and plane filter, and we should be good. So. Alright, so. Need an output. And we need assembly machines. There we go. And that's probably a little too close, actually. Let's back that up a little bit. We want to leave room for the manifold, make our belting a little less spaghetti. You know, if you're not really into that thing, if you like the spaghetti, then obviously have at it. Now, these things take... Nope. These ones. Alright, so it's 6 seconds, and they need 2 processors on 2 planes filters. So 6 seconds from the far belt we get 7.5, so 7.5 times 6 is 4, so that should be a level 1 sorter should be plenty to feed these machines. Obviously, someday if we came back and wanted to upgrade this array to higher level machines, we'd have to check and make sure we still had enough throughput on these sorters. But I'm just at endgame, and so I imagine we're gonna have a long time before we, it's gonna be a little while until we come back and need to worry about upgrading arrays. Alright, so I think we're shooting for 32 in this array. So there's 4, and that makes 8. Let's see, can we fit? Looks like we'll probably fit. We might even be able to do a whole 64 array instead. Might have to. Let's see, 64 and 64 is 128, so if we do 32, then it's a 3 rows. Might do that instead. Because, so, a row of 32 will not use up a yellow belt stacked to 4. So, with that, the throughput here on the belts is not an issue for a 32, nowhere close. So, at 64, still don't think it would be a problem. But then again, if we came back and upgraded the 64 long arrays later, then we might start, you know, I mean, we'd probably have to upgrade the belts at that point. Like, I don't think we'd top out. Not for this recipe, because it's so, takes so much time. But, I think we're gonna do the 32s. That seems to be fine for me. From my point of view, that appears to be fine. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Alright. 1. And we can chop off the excess. Oh, sugar. Oh, let's try again. That's silly of me. Wrong button. Alright. Problem solved. So that should be that, and if we copy, we have 32. So that should be good for now. Oh, and of course I didn't put the recipe in. It's easy enough to fix. There we go. There we go, we got the recipe in there. Alright, now to work on the manifold end. So, I doubt it matters for this array, but we will do our customary, making sure there's room for pilers. So right there, and right there. Yep, so that's where we want to make sure there's room for pilers. Okay, so go ahead. That looks about right. There we go. Alright, and then our output is down here. Perfect. Get rid of the belt. Keep forgetting to use the hotkeys. See if I can remember more this time around. Okay, so let's do that. Alright, and we'll put in some power poles. Oh, we can get rid of these for now. Alright. So power poles I've been doing kind of like every 3-ish, because it looks like every 4 doesn't get enough coverage to get every sorter. Yeah, I think this one's not going to get the end. Oh, it did. Okay. Alright, so there's our array of 32. So, of course, everybody knows what time it is once we've built up the array. Because we're using the manifold technique, we can multiply the manifold, multiply the array until we have all we need. So if we can check this, it should be 96. There we go. Alright, so we need output, which I think is going to end up being right here. So, classically, our manifold backbone, our blue belts. I mean, on these arrays, we can probably go lower than blue belt, but just for the sake of argument for the future, You know, it's easier to upgrade the arrays themselves than to bother with the manifolds. The manifolds are kind of a... They could be worked on, but if it's already up to blue belts, then all you gotta worry about is the stackers on the outputs. Alright, let's get our paint flowing, our proliferator. Let's put in our power pole. Very nice. Get our output, and so that just leaves the inputs. Where do we want to put the inputs this time? I feel like we want to come out of the tower this side. I always do the top. Let's do the bottom this time. Okay, so the manifold needs to run this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, so that they manifold to the actual output location. Alright, so that's our output, and then we need to do, I believe we said we're going to put our, let's put our input down here, so we can go this way. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, we are at the end of the series. I've already gone through almost the entire tech tree. There's only 1 or 2 bits left that are undone. And so our goal is to go from our starting system here to this O-type neutron star, this O-type star. The idea is this star has the highest luminosity in my star cluster, and so I'm going there to build my next Dyson Sphere, because I already built a Dyson Sphere in the system I started in. Alright, that's our processors, and there is our plane filter. Alright there. Alright. And we're gonna request some warpers, because I mean, not yet, because both the, I believe the processors are being made somewhere else, never mind. So we will need warpers. So put those in there. The plane filters are made on this planet, so we're going to want a whole bunch of logistics drones. Oh, and there is no power there. Okay. Must be because as you go farther south, the grid kind of expands a little bit to fit the area, and so the circular areas from the power poles don't really cover that last one. I'm gonna assume that's what it is. Alright, so there's our array. So now we just gotta request stuff. Local demand, remote demand, remote demand. And it looks like we are actually creating the processors here on planet. Oh, and there we go. Again, for those who are just joining us, I'm at the end of the tech tree. So these are 4 stacks. The logistic towers have this nifty feature where they'll output stacked cargo. So once you get all the way to the end of the tech tree, you can research that. Alright, and we're creating some quantum chips. Very nice. How are we doing on power? Doing alright at the moment. As the other arrays ramp up, we should see the power draw change. So, power on this planet. Yeah, and like as this goes, it's gonna suck resources from the other arrays, and they're gonna start running too, and then follow on and follow on. So it's gonna start sucking power. We're gonna find out, because our current goal that we're working towards was making these quantum chips. So now that we've got all of the support structure built, and we've got all the miners, I took some time between episodes when I was finishing up the plane filter array to go ahead and slap miners down all over the planet. So we're getting lots and lots of stuff mined. So here we go. We can see our plane filter array going. There it is. So you can see this is probably going to be our bottleneck because I didn't build out the entire array. So at some point in time, I'll probably have to come back and do that. Here's our green chips going. There you go. Now the iron, copper, that kind of stuff, that's coming from off planet. This is more of a factory planet. The smelting planet is somewhere else in the solar system. Hello, Midnight. My kitty cat showed up to say hello and take a look at all the fancy things happening on the screen. No, he doesn't care. He just wants pets. Yes, you just want pets. It's fine. I understand. Oh, we had a ship come and grab some, one of these. These are crystal... microcrystalline components. So we had a ship pick those up. So that's cool. We got someone from outside our solar system. Here's our processors. You can see we're making lots of processors. How are we doing on power? Power's up. And our Casimir crystals, which, I mean, Casimir crystals are gonna suck down the hydrogen. Probably the biggest bottleneck eventually with this or build is gonna be the hydrogen, and I think it's just hydrogen. I don't think we need deuterium, so. But yeah, we're like, the Casimir crystal array is gonna suck down hydrogen like crazy, so we might have to put in a storage array at some point in time to make sure that we have enough on hand. As you can see, we seem to be keeping up with titanium crystals and graphene. But yeah, it's kind of cool, you know, as you start demanding stuff, you can see the arrays pick up, start going. Eventually, as we have a continuous demand, the arrays will run continuously, you know, once the buffers are eaten through. Oh, those are needed by the Casimir crystals. Alright, we're back in quantum chip land. So something is already taking our quantum chips. It looks like, or something took a load already, because these were up higher when we were here a moment ago. And how are we doing on power? Alright, let's take a look. Nope, tier 1 we're not doing. That's mining. Tier 1 for me is science. Tier 2, star 2 is anything that's mined. So any resource that's mined out of the ground with a miner, or an oil extractor or water extractor, all that kind of stuff. And then I haven't started any of the actual manufactured materials, so go ahead and go star those real quick. So you can see here the things on this planet, the local planet, that are zero production. We're actually producing them here. We're bringing them in from another planet. Now, also, when I calculated these arrays, I calculated them without proliferator. So our actual throughput is higher than what my calculator said. And I did that for a reason, mostly because every now and then you run out of power, you have proliferator issues, you're using too much of it, your proliferator plant can't keep up, and also it gives us a cushion. If we do our calculations without the proliferator, it means if we accidentally draw more than we can really produce, according to the paper, then we don't actually impact our production too much. So our microcrystalline and our plane filter haven't ramped up to our consumption level yet, so this is the amount of deuterium that we're consuming to make power on this planet, which I imagine is going to go up a lot now that the array is actually running. You know, and that won't calm down until our quantum chip production calms down. There we go. We're finally getting some titanium crystals being created. Casimir crystals. And our space warpers, obviously, we need warpers for for our ships that are flying between planets. So, but what we care most about is right here, these quantum chips. So why do we need so many quantum chips? Well, one thing to remember is that so many is a relative term. To me, this is so many. To other people in the community, this is small comparatively. But we need these because they are required by these little guys. 2 of them per. The small rocket carrier rocket is what we are using to build our Dyson Sphere. And so we need lots of them to build the Dyson Sphere. Alright, the more you have, the faster you can build it. So that's what we've got these for. The O-type star, the Dyson Sphere on the O-type star is much bigger. The star's radius is much larger than the yellow star that we started out with in our starting system. So as you might imagine, next up on our list is going to be Dyson Sphere components. And that needs processors also, so we might end up beefing up our processor array sooner, and all the knock-on arrays that require that. Solar sails, we're going to have to go and set up photon combiners. I don't know how our graphene's doing. I'd have to go look. It's been a little while, so we might be tapping out the graphene array. Photon combiner, I'm sure that we don't have nearly enough of that being produced. Is probably going to be a bottleneck too. And then right now, I have no major factory for frame material. It's being produced on my home planet, and it is in a tower, but the array is smallish for what we want to achieve. And so my goal... where'd my sheet go? Here it is. Here's my sheet. So my goal, I think my first kind of big goal is going to be producing... 4 carrier rockets per second, which is quite a lot. You know, it sucks down a ton of resources. So, you know, to do that, I've just finished the quantum chips. I still have to do the deuterium, and I've got to do the Dyson Sphere components. So we'll probably end up moving to another planet to build the arrays for those, because this planet, I believe we've used up pretty much, yeah, I mean, once we expand out these arrays, some of these arrays, you know, are going to grow a lot faster than others. You know, the quantum chip arrays obviously not going to grow nearly as fast as compared to, like, the plane filter array, which is already, you know, large. So this is our export. Oh, yep, we're exporting lots of stuff. Now, where is this going? This is going to the smelting planet in the solar system. Probably need to set up a smelter for fractal silicon. Coal's not really getting used, because I don't know how much coal we're actually using in this system. So I wouldn't imagine there's a large draw for it. There's a ship coming in for proliferator, which is probably good. So how are we doing now on... Oh, what? None? Come on. Oh, never mind, wrong button. Producing lots and lots. So hydrogen and organic crystals, those are coming in on ships. That's not being produced in the solar system. Well, hydrogen, there might be some hydrogen in the solar system for on the prairie planet. So if we pull up the solar system, this one is doing oil processing and mining organic crystals. This one, whoops, midnight, pushing a button on my computer, silly boy. I don't think I put anything on this planet other than miners. I don't think I have any. We'll go take a look in a second and do a little mini tour. The barren desert planet is the smelting planet. So let's do a quick tour of the system so you guys can see what we've got. All these quantum chips bake, because, yeah. Alrighty, so off we go and do a little tour of the solar system. Now, I'm tempted to move to another solar system to do the rest of the components. Technically, there is still some space on these planets Like the Scarlet Lake, for instance, I'm pretty sure there's tons of space on that planet. But I like, I want to spread out. There's lots of planets in the star cluster. There's no reason to have everything right on top of each other. I have no idea what that's for. What is this for? Strange. I must not have set that up. Whoops. Well, that's depressing. How much oil are we producing on this planet? Producing a lot. Not a lot. Looks like a lot. Mining lots of organic crystals. Spin-form stalagmite. We're using those. Those go directly into graphene. Carbon nanotubes, which obviously we're going to need a lot of. Tons of water. Yep, so we'll do a quick tour here. You can see from the map I've got miners covering just about every node. There's probably one or two oil nodes that aren't covered, but I'd say it's a close thing. I imagine almost everything's covered. Okay, so here we go. Got plastic. Here's our plastic array. Tons of coal on this planet. That's probably why we're not drawing it from the other one. I believe this is our refined oil array. Yeah. And there's some of that hydrogen I was talking about. So I made a ton of plastic. I imagine I made that so that if we had to make organic crystals from scratch, we could. More than likely, that's what it's there for. You can see here my hydrogen storage in case we start not using the hydrogen. Got lots of places to stick it. So we got a nice big buffer. Here's my proliferator. One of my proliferator plants, you can see here. Looks like it's working overtime these days. Oh, it's doing alright. My bump. We got this cap up to 10,000. So each one of my ships right now carries 2,000. So you gotta have more in stock than that, or else you'll starve the other plants. Because one of the problems with, like, as the ships, their cargo holds get bigger, it's like you have to have more on hand. Because if you're gonna ship between planets, the ship will come in. If you're only making 1,000, it'll suck up 1,000, right? It's gone, and so you don't have any time to buffer up stuff, and so it can be quite an issue. And proliferator is one of those ones where it's like the quantity per tower is minuscule compared to the other resources, and so that's why I'm setting it up with like one tower, importing it for the entire planet, which also cuts down on the buffer size. So we don't have to have a buffer of 20k here, or whatever the max is, because each planet's only filling a ship, every hour or so. So we're not using much carbon nanotubes. Kind of surprising. I wouldn't expect more of them being used. How's this planet doing on power? Lots of power. We're good there. And then over here we've got titanium glass. Yes, titanium glass. That's gonna get used a lot. That's used for that's used for one of our components in our I believe it's a plane filter. So that's gonna suck down a lot of that. Here's my massive water collection array. Let's go into something on this planet. I don't remember exactly what. It might be plastic. I think that's it. What's this? That's the plastic. Oh, wait, what do we got here? Oh, that's the oil. So, okay, so that's it for this planet. Let's moving on to... Sure, let's go there next. I don't think there's much on here to see, so this will probably be a quick trip. Yeah, this planet hasn't even been tapped out yet. I'm not bothering to put miners on during episodes. I imagine it's pretty boring content to watch. So don't see the reason to do that on an episode. So off we go. And off to the barren planet. So this is my smelting planet at the moment. There we go. So actually, let's look at this real quick. Lots of stone in use. Lots of everything in use. I mean, looks like we're eating a ton of silicon. That's going to be for the quantum chips. I assume it's probably quantum chips. Not using that much iron. Okay, I expected more. Fire ice usage, that's for graphene, it looks like. Oh no, we're mining that and shipping it out. Yep, so these are all shipped out, no consumption here. Proliferator. Lots of proliferator on this one. Where's our import? Oh, let's look at, so we're doing alright on power. Where's our importer? Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Where's our import tower? Oh, is that it right there? There it is. So we're looking alright. Missed a stone node. Oh, I think I've almost completely tapped out this planet in miners. Got that stone vein there. A couple stone veins. So, how much stone? This planet has 35.5 million stone on it, so lots of stone. Kimberlite. I don't think we're using any of this Kimberlite, so I'll probably set up an array for that one of these days. Oh wait, nope, we're using some of it right here. So, probably gonna have to expand this array eventually. This is actually using the plain smelters. I mean, and when they're running, like, they suck up a ton of energy, so because I'm not using... Oh, hello, Midnight's back. Because I'm not using antimatter to power the star system yet, it's kind of difficult to use plain smelters for the entire solar system. So, all right, so we're going there. So we need to figure out where we're going to build these next set of factories. So I think we want to go someplace that has more organic crystals, because we're still going to need a lot of organic crystals, and it's much nicer to mine them than to produce them. So I think this is where we're going next. So, oh, and we've got a source of hydrogen and deuterium, so that's good. And we can't see which planet has the organic crystals. So, guess let's head for this one. And that's where we're going for the next factory build here. While we're en route here, I'll pick some technology to research, because we don't have any research going right now. So there we go, off we go. So when I say technology, I mean upgrades, because everything else in the tech tree is done. So what do we want? That would probably be nice. That would be nice. I'd care less about that. Alright, ray transmission's pretty high. Drive engine would be nice. Energy circuit's really not necessary. Communications control would be nice. So let's put these guys on. Nice, and they're cheapish compared to the other one. Don't know if we care about flight speed for the drones as much right now. That is a lot compared to the others, so let's do logistic carrier speed. Actually, you know what? No. Let's do these. Yeah, let's do these two for now. Whoops, and it took too long and I missed. Nice. That's embarrassing. Redstone satellite. Interesting. And this one has organic crystals on it, although not a whole heck of a lot. It has some oil on it. I don't know how much oil we want right now. Kimberlite, fractal silicon, 85 building space, 100 building space, and 98% building space. The ice planets I'm not really a fan of because I find it hard, like it's hard to see. Arid desert's not bad. Orbital residence 1 to 4. One of these days I gotta find out if that's actually useful. Assume it is. So I think this is gonna be our base of operations here in the new solar system. Where'd we go? There we are. Alright, so we're gonna go over here. Scope this place out. Build up some speed. There we go. So I think next we're going to start with the frame, the sphere, Dyson Sphere components. So I think that's what we're doing next. Alright, here we are. Now, where do we have the most available space on this planet? Looks like we might be better starting off our arrays towards the South Pole. Looks like it might be a bit of a toss-up. We'd always build around them like I did, you know, like I've been doing. Yeah, let's start at the top. Sounds good to me. Oops, wrong button. Alright, so off we go up here. And we're going to set down. And we're going to look again. Yep, so we're up here above the... So if we look here, generally I want like this meridian section and down to kind of be my factory space. Right now, I find building across the meridian lines to be kind of annoying or inconvenient. So we're gonna pick a strong meridian, Or no, meridian? Can't remember the terminology. We're gonna pick this one, this strong line. Put it right on this corner. Alright. Now the fun part. Do we have any wind? We have lots of wind. Do we have any wind turbines? Oh, we do. Look at that. Nice. Because we need some power to get charged up so we can actually get junk into this tower. So we want proliferator. Turn that down to 2K. Local supply, remote demand. Deuterium. And we need warpers. So local supply, remote demand, remote demand. Now these are not us, our tower. That is coming in from another. That is coming in from another tower, so. Stuff that in there. We'll put in. We don't need a ton of ships in this tower. 2 will probably do the job. Do some local bots, like 10. Like, you know, we don't have a high throughput on the items that are going in this tower. So, in fact, what am I doing? This would be local storage, because we're not even... We're using that for power. Alright, let's get our tower hooked up. Yep, and sucks down lots of energy, so we're gonna go put down some more wind turbines. Wind turbines. There we go. There we go. So we don't have any deuterium fuel rods yet, so. Yeah, our satisfaction is atrocious, which is fine, you know, it's kind of expected. We don't have a lot in the way of power at the moment. Still, it's quite impressive. Just the amount of wind turbines. It's 150 bonus on this planet, so that's not bad. So hopefully we'll get deuterium here pretty soon. We might actually have to make that next, because it seems that we don't have a lot of that stuff. Alright. Well, we'll find out. Oh, there we go. Got some. Nice. Okay. So that's where I'm going to call it on this episode. Thank you all for coming and joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.